Good afternoon, everyone. So we have just 40 participants so far. We have enough strength, so we can just start. Yeah. So if I do remember, I have finished, exception handling. And in my previous class, we were, dealing with how exactly user-defined exception handling, or how user, work on user-defined exceptions. Now, today's I'm gonna cover new topic, which is nothing but advanced functions. So I have looked into your syllabus, and I have seen like nowhere it is being mentioned. But yeah, it's a pretty much useful in every places, and somewhere in your even syllabus it was mentioned like these kind of exceptions are these kind of functions are already used in multiple places. So now somebody is pinging, I don't know for what. Yes. Okay, everybody will be able to see my screen or not? If yes, please acknowledge me. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Yes. So today we will be covering advanced function. So advanced function, when I say it's a nothing but the anonymous function, and it is a function which is being defined without a name. So these kind of function are pretty much different from the normal function. In normal function, you might have seen like what exactly we used to do is we generally used to define the normal function using the def keyword. And in anonymous function, how exactly we are going to define? We are going to use lambda keyword. Okay. So guys, please note it down, lambda keyword. Now, the syntax are pretty much simple. So you have to just specify first lambda argument. You have to mention arguments and then expression. Okay. Now, here I have pointed out something which is, you have to take care of it. Lambda function can have any number of arguments, but it has only one expression. So you can define or you can use multiple arguments, but your expression has to be, one. So lambda function can be used wherever function objects are required. So guy, 543 roll number, can you please switch it off your camera? It would be quite good for us. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Lambda function can be used wherever function objects are required. Okay. And some of the important, you can say like points which I wanted to point it out here. Shortened version of def statement, which is useful for inlining function and other situations where it is convenient to keep the code of the function close to where it is being needed. Okay. So basically you can say in normal function we generally used to write it as in def, and then we used to give a function name. So here you don't need to give any function name. And we can only contain an expression in the function definition, not a block of a statement. Example, you can say we do not have if statement inside that, or maybe you can say like there will be no while statement or maybe while loop inside that. And basically lambda returns a function which generally programmer can decide whether or not to assign this function to a name. Okay guys, these are the basic simple point which I wanted to point it out. Okay. And basically advanced function are there are multiple types, but I am just gonna cover only few of them. So let me just go back to where what all advanced functions are available. So basically you can say like passing list and keyword dictionary to a function. I don't know how many of you have observed this, but I have covered this topic as well. I have used multiple times. We have passed list and keyword dictionaries and that function. Inside the function I tried to pass everything. Okay. So guys, please note it down this point, because these are the pretty much functions, or we can say advanced function which we generally used in our coding when we do some sort of Python programming, because these are the functions nobody is going to tell you and will take you separately and give you a walkthrough of these functions, because these functions are pretty much like, it's a pretty much easier and convenient for you all to apply to use it. Okay, so that is why I just keep on saying, try to use these functions as much as possible, because it would be good for you as well. Okay, now apart from that, you can see I have mentioned apply. Apply is another kind of function, or we can say like advanced function, which we are, which we are gonna use in basically Python programming. And I'm gonna cover apply function in a brief, because this is pretty much very, pretty much useful function for everywhere, or we can say like in all the languages, all different languages, or all the languages, or maybe you can say like all the different platform which is, built on Python, or which is on built on, you can say like Java. So I'm basically talking about Hadoop MapReduce. So I know like you guys are not pretty much aware about this, but somebody have must have heard about how exactly big data, you know big data platform are available in our, industry. And that is also, these kind of buzzwords are already there in the market. So in each and every industry, people are using Hadoop, MapReduce, and big data terms. So you are not gonna I'm not gonna cover this entire thing in a, a single shot, you can say. But at least I should make you aware about these terminology, these terms, so that you can able to correlate how big data technologies can work on, and how exactly these things are, useful here. So guys, for you it would be quite it would be quite useful, as well as I must say, at least you should aware about this topic, so that in later on somebody will ask you, then you would be able to convey easily. Now why I'm emphasizing this, truly speaking, in industry, if somebody wanted to, measure out, or maybe wanted to, you can exclude you, or maybe, there are five people have been, you can say like selected for one interview, and that was the last round. And then, everybody is good in Python, let's say basic Python. And then how they will identify you, I don't want to include this person, I don't know, I want to keep this person. So there is a only one way for them to identify that. If you would be aware about these functions, I must say, like, nobody will reject you, nobody would be going to, take that step, because if you are aware about these function, they are already, they will get intention or intuition, like this particular guy have, pretty much good command on Python programming. So that is why I am just taking forward, and I wanted to cover this entire topic, because if you will be able to correlate this entire thing with your, big data terminology, or maybe you can say like all the buzzword, then it would be good for you as well. And it would be quite easier for you to do code in Python, because if one thing you will write on a 6 lines of a code, same thing by using Lambda function you would be able to write on a single line, or maybe 2 line, that's it. So I'm gonna show you how exactly we can, compare that. Okay, so basically apply, map, filter, reduce, and list comprehension. So these are the, basically available advanced functions are there. Okay, now in this, if you will look into one by one everything, so why we need use of Lambda function, or maybe you can say like how do we use Lambda function. So here I have clearly mentioned, we have to, use these kind of Lambda function in where. So you can see I have just taken one variable, and I have just mentioned what you can see here. I have just taken, I have written lambda, and then x, and then colon, then I have used expression. Expression is nothing but what, x into 4. Okay, so guys, just have a look into it, and you can see how exactly it looks like. And just I'm calling from the print. Okay, you can see if you are able to. Now here I have clearly mentioned x is the argument, and x into 4 is the expression. So that is what I was trying to say in my syntax. When I was trying to show you the syntax of this, then I was showing you x is the nothing but the argument and x cross 4 is the expression, and that expression gets evaluated and you will get some value. Okay, now if you will see here, you can see the above function has no name. So what I'm trying to say is, here you can see here, do you think I have given any name? No, there would be no name, just one variable, and it returns a function object which is assigned to the identifier. Val is what? A kind of identifier, or maybe you can say like it's a kind of variable. Okay, now same thing, if you would be able to see, how are you going to correlate with the normal function? So I have clearly specified one example where I have used how exactly you can write the normal function. So there also you have to write, you have to give some name where exactly you can write, I have given name as a val, and then I have written what? I have written x cross 4, which is nothing but the expression. Then I was trying to call function through the print. Okay, so that is what I can say here, and same thing I am gonna code in front of you all, so that you would be able to get the clear picture about what exactly sir is talking about. Okay, so guys, if you will see here, let me share you my Jupyter notebook so that you would be able to see. Okay, now same thing I'm gonna code on my Jupyter notebook. Let me share you my Jupyter notebook with you all. Yes, here we go. So now we are discussing about lambda function. Let me just show you the same. Now let me code. I don't know whether you guys are able to see my Jupyter yeah, everybody would be able to see. Yeah, great, thank you so much for that. At least let me just open. Yeah, so first of all I am going to define normal function. So I am going to write here normal function. Okay, and in front of you, what I am trying to do, I will always use def and then val. So it is going to accept something. Something is nothing but I am just talking about x, it is accepting something, and my expression is nothing but the x is equal to nothing but x cross 4. Let's say this is what my normal function is, and what exactly it was going to give you. Or maybe you, instead of writing x, and maybe you can, instead of this step, you can just write return x cross x4. Yep. So this one, I guess everybody would be able to figure it out what exactly I have written, and I just wanted to use this function. Let's say, so I'm gonna call print, and then I'm gonna write here val, and here I'm gonna write something. Maybe you just wanted to write 2. So basically what would be the output? Output would be 2 into 4, that means 8. So let me run this. Yes, we are getting 8 now. Now let me write same thing, same function, or same, you can say like same expression using lambda. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, what I'm going to write. So I'm gonna here write val is nothing but the variable or identifier, you can say. Here I'm gonna write lambda, and here I'm gonna specify x, this one, into expression. Same expression, you can say, I have written here. Now what I need to do here is I again need to call val. That's it. Sorry, my bad. Here you have to just specify what? Here you have to just specify, just pass that value which you have passed previously. Now let me run this. You can see 88. Now guys, you can clearly look what I was talking about, what I have written here. Guys, please please note out of it, because nobody would explain you that much, and So with the explanation, I am trying to give you the proper visualization so that you would be able to see how we can correlate, how we can code the same function in a different manner. Okay, guys, you can clearly see how exactly I have written. Okay, so you can see here I have written these kind of functions. So you can see where exactly the difference between these two. Nowhere. If you will clearly observe, there will be no difference. So instead of 2 line, you're just trying to use 1 line. Okay, so guys, this is what this is just a simple example. So otherwise, you might have seen there is a drastically lines of code change, okay, in the same. So that is why I keep on saying, like, please work on this, look properly, listen my lecture properly, and then apply the same. Okay, if yes, we can proceed, otherwise you can just take a look. Okay, if still you have further any doubt, do let me know right away. Okay, I guess everybody is clear about this, so let me move forward. Okay, now again, let me share my screen in the advanced one. Okay, yeah, so this topic we have covered. Now we can move further in advanced function. Let me just take away you to the something else. So use of lambda function. So when we need function for the short period of time, guys, please note it down. I am especially saying when we need function for the short period of time and we don't want to use any name. Okay, then at that point of time we generally use lambda function. So guys, there will be no much time, not at all much time, or maybe inside a code I just wanted, I'm in a flow writing code, and in between I wanted to define something. Then instead of writing some function with the function name, I'm just gonna use lambda function because it would be easier for me. Okay, guys, are you getting my point or not? If yes, then fine. Okay, now what about other part of that? So generally we use it as an argument to a higher order function basically. Okay, basically function which takes other function as an argument. So these are the places where generally we use advanced function. Okay, so where generally we need which where we generally basically want some function and where we take function as an argument. And apart from that, the lambda function also being used along with built-in function. So lambda function is being used along with built-in function like map, the one I was talking about in my previous two slides. Okay, map, filter, and all. Now we have to look into the filter function first of all. Okay, and then we will slowly move on to the map and rest of the functions. So first of all, filter, what it does, why we use this filter, as name specifies, it is used for what? Generally it is going to do some sort of filtering. Okay, now this function takes in a function and a list as an argument. What generally it accepts and what generally it takes. So this, it takes in a function and is list as an argument. Okay, basically one of the function, or maybe you can say like anonymous function which you have defined, or lambda function, and apart from that it can also accept the list. Okay, I'll show you in an example how exactly this function is gonna use. Now, and a new list is returned which contains item for which the function evaluates to true. Guys, see, all the words are pretty much important, so please pay your attention while I was explaining about something. So what I'm saying is filter function is being called with all the item in the list, and a new list is returned which contains item for which the function evaluates to true. Okay, and here I'm gonna give you one, one example for filter. Example is nothing but I want to filter out all the even number from a list. Okay, so how I'm gonna do that? Okay, so let me see if I can help you with something. Okay, just a second. What happened? Filter after filter. Okay, okay, by mistaken I got one new slide, so I just need to remove that slide. Okay, yep. So here our agenda is to filter out even number from a list. So I'm gonna write here even number from the list. Okay, I'm writing like this. Now what I wanted to do is for the time being, okay, sorry, I have to first share with you Jupyter notebook, then only I should be able to write. Now here, so now my agenda is to filter out even number from the list. Now I'm gonna write one list which is nothing but the number list, let's say, and here I'm gonna write some of the numbers, let's say 1 3 4 5, sorry, my bad, 5 9 12 41 33 and then 32 76, like this. Now what I said, I want to filter out all the even number present in my list. Okay, then how I'm gonna write that? Let me write that. Okay, let me write the same thing for you guys, give me a moment. Yes, so sorry, actually my charger was blinking up, so I thought like let me put charger. Yeah, so this one is our list, and now I want to filter out even number. So first of all you have to think what I need to do. So now the variable should be, or maybe identifier, you can say that would be same. Now num is list is equal to what? I wanted to get the list, nothing but the list. Now inside that, what I want? Anybody? I want to use filter. Okay, because I want to get all the even numbers. So what I'm trying to write is here is filter. What filter will accept what? In my slide I have said like filter will accept what? Filter will accept what? It takes one list and it takes what? It takes that expression or maybe one kind of function. So here I'm gonna write lambda. Lambda, what is my expression has to be? X modulo 2 is equal to what? 0. If that is the condition, okay, let's say if that is the condition, I would be getting what? Even number. But that is my expression. Are you getting my point? And that whatever I get, I will place into the x. Okay. Now this is what my function is. Okay. From, if you can see here, from this point till this point, this is my one argument, which is nothing but the function. Okay. Now let me put comma to write another argument, and I need to pass another argument is nothing but the list. I have passed this. Now this is fine, fairly enough. Okay. And this is what I want. Now let me run this. First of all, let me get my list. Okay. What is that? Num list. Yes. Now let me run this. You can see here, oh, I am getting only even numbers. So 4 is my even number, 12 is my even number, 32 is my even number, 76. So guys, look how simple this entire thing is. And if you wanted to, do the coding using function, so first you have to write what? One of the operation called as filter, or maybe you have to define one filter method or function. Then there inside you have to write x is equal to x divided by 2, which is nothing but equal to 0. And then if we will get, then that is has to be assigned to this, and you have to pass like this. So if you want me to code in a lambda, in a normal function, I can do that. Nothing, there is will be no issue for me. But you can see how I have drilled down my 4 lines of code into the single line. Guys, that is why it is very important. Okay, so that is why I keep on saying, like, please focus properly and try to concentrate on my class. That would be enough for you. If you will give 100% in my class to listen to me, and then you would be able to at least note it down. I am pretty much sure, and I will bet you guys, nobody would reject you in your, neither on your interview, neither on your exam. Okay, because these are the crux part of entire Python programming. Okay, anyone, any doubt, any question so far? Please do raise your hand, do raise your voice. So I'm just giving a couple of minutes, or maybe you can say 1 minute for you all. If you have any doubt, please ping me on chat. Thank you so much. Few people are saying um, understand properly. Thank you so much for that. Great. I'm getting good responses. Thank you for that. Actually, because my ultimate agenda is to, to how easily I can elaborate, how easily I can explain you, how easily I can put entire topic in front of you, so that you would get no confusion and you get my 100% at least. Okay, now so far no doubt. So let me just move on to the next. Now in the same fashion, okay, in the same manner, just the definition is being changed and the functionality is gonna be changed, and you will get a new advanced function, which is nothing but the map. Now I don't know how many of you have used the same terminology in Hadoop or maybe big data. Map, reduce. I don't know how many of you, have you ever heard about it or not, but map, reduce, and these kind of words. So that map is nothing but this map. So truly speaking, it's just the implementation, the way they have implemented, and now the way I'm gonna explain you. Okay. Now, map function, what it does, this function also takes in a function and a list. So it takes one function and a list, basically exactly the same number of argument, you can say. But what exactly the difference is? So filter function is being called with all the item in the list, and the new list is returned which contains a return function. Now what about map function? I have just clearly mentioned it was a nothing but filter. So now what about other part which I must say here? Okay, what is the difference? What do you think, and what do you basically assume? What is map basically? Map, what name specifies? No one trying to attempt this or what? Guys, it's just a function. That's what I'm trying to say. No one is trying to attempt this. Why? Guys, I don't know why you guys are keep quiet, but truly speaking, map function applies to a given function to each item of an iterable. Okay, somebody has said something, so I guess okay. A specified function for each item in an interval, the item is sent to the function as a parameter. Okay, thank you so much for that. So I'm gonna write here what I'm gonna write. Map is nothing but it takes. So I'm gonna write here. It takes a function and or maybe you can say instead of write it takes function, you can write it as it applies function to each item, basically what all item are present in the function of an iterable. I don't know how many of you remember this topic. So example, I must say list, tuple, and set, and all. Anyway, etc. I'm gonna. I don't want to write everything like this. And it returns what? And it returns. And it returns what? Anyone? It's nothing but the list of the output, or maybe list. Guys, just have a look so that I will in front of you only. I have just written the definition so that you'll be able to understand that what exactly I'm talking about. Okay, now I'm clearly mentioning some example here where I want to do something. So let me just go back to same place. Yep. Okay, now here the way you have coded for even number, I want my requirement is to is to get or maybe get the double or maybe triple double or triple of all the items present in a list. Okay. So far so good. Yes. Now I don't want to do extra coding effort, so I'm gonna use the same list. Okay, the same list which I was explaining you. And I will just write like this. And I have to just code the same thing for what? For map. So now I want my new list, and my new list which contains the double of everything. So I'm gonna write like list. I'm returning list, nothing but. Okay. Now list, and then I'm gonna write here what? Instead of filter, I'm gonna write here map, and then I will apply here lambda x, and then colon, and then I'm gonna doubling this. So I have to write like this too. Okay, and here I'm gonna write num list like this. Now let's see, we will get what? What I wanted to print here is my list. You can see, first of all, let me just, okay, anyway, you can compare from here. 1 and doubling is 3, 6, 4, 8, 5 and all, and 76, 752. You can see here, I want, now once I get this list, I want to divide by 2, whatever. That's what I'm trying to say is you have to, figure it out what exactly you wanted to do with the list and how exactly your function can be applied. So what I'm trying to do here is, let me write the same function, and instead of that, I want to change my expression. Okay, so let me change my expression like this. I wanted to make the divide, so instead of this list, I just wanted my previous list, because this list is already being there, and everything is nothing but the 2, 6, 8 and everything. Now same list I want here to be divided by 2. Let's say what exactly we will get. We will get again the same number. So for you to clarify and verify, you can write it as an here like this. Okay, here I'm going to write like this, and let me run this. If I'm going to run this, you will get, look at here, what I'm getting is 134.0 and all. Okay, so basically you can see what exactly I wanted to get. I have written the same thing. If I will write here 0.0, you can see what I am trying to get, because every time I just wanted to divide it by 2. Okay guys, please note it down these things, because this is pretty much good for you to remember this. Okay, now if you want in an integer, you can write it as an integer. You will get that integer value as well. So here, if you want to get integer value, so you can write it here as an integer value. Okay, so I'm not gonna write here. Maybe you can specify int here like this, or maybe inside that int you can write, then that is also fine. So let me see you, let me check once what exactly the output I am going to get. Okay, so inside that sorry, my bad, inside that we can't write it, and instead of here, you have to actually write inside that this. So somewhere you have to specify, nothing to worry. Okay, now apart from this, let me just cover it out another thing. Let me run this again. Guys, you just specify somewhere int, maybe here or maybe here, just you will get your output, whatever output was there. But ultimately your whatever your result you wanted to get, that is there. Okay, now, and again, let me just show you one more thing here. Instead of this, if you want to map something like to assign some value, or maybe what I can say, maybe later on if I will get something on my mind, then I will show you, and I will show you how exactly it has to be coded. Okay, now let me again go back to slides so that we can talk about more. Yeah, so I have just given one more example here, so let me just share that example here. Yeah, so yeah, clearly I have mentioned here lambda function versus normal function, and I'm thinking like I have already given you in the morning, sorry, in the beginning, how exactly the difference between that. Again, you wanted to see the same example, I will code you. I just wanted to code in front of you all so that you would be able to you won't get any sort of confusion in front here. Okay, so even though map has, as I said, map has two parameter, let me just, I will explain you about later on, but just let me finish my theory aspect here as well in an advanced function only. Here basically I was talking about in map what it takes first of all function. Okay, and where exactly map passes each item to the iterable to the function. So basically I can write it here, nothing but, so basically two parameter, as I said in the beginning, it has to, it is going to accept two parameter, and one is nothing but the function. So I'm going to write here function, which is nothing but it is going to accept what, basically you can write map function passes each item, you can say like, of the iterable to this function, you can write, but that's it. Okay, now here you can stop here, and then you can write iterable. What exactly, I don't know, means how many of you have remember, so I'm just going to specify here iterable. Generally iterable, when I say it is iterable which is gonna be mapped, iterable basically which is to be mapped, to be basically mapped. Okay, yeah, and note it down here, just I haven't mentioned here anywhere, just I will what I can do here, I can specify in front of you all. Yeah, so basically I will write here note, something like this, note basically, and here what I'm talking about is, just a minute, I was saying is we can pass basically more than one iterable, more than one iterable. So guys, please note it down, this more than one iterable to the map function, to the map function. That's it, you can write it like this. Okay, now that is why I have just clearly mentioned here what you need to do now. Okay, apart from that, what else I can cover? If you want, you want to calculate something like maybe some function you wanted to use, then you can use there. And let's say if you want, basically, even though same example I can give you for a square root also, let's say if you wanted to figure it out, a square root of everything. So let me go back to my notebook here. I just wanted my again, let me just take this file, sorry, note. And now my requirement is, all of a sudden my requirement changes, and I want what, here I would be writing like, let me write here, just guys give me a moment. Yeah. So here my requirement all of a sudden changed, and I'm gonna use here what I'm gonna write here. Let me find it out. I want, okay, square root of every number, square of each number, let's say. So my list is already there. What I just need to do, instead of 2, I just need to write x. That's it. What else have you need to change? Nothing. So let me run this. You will get the same output. You can see here. So how simple you can make your code, it depends on you. Okay. Now, again, suppose let me use some sort of one more example here. Let me write it down. Like, I want to pass multiple iterator. Let me pass multiple iterator. Let me write it like this. Pass multiple iterator to basically nothing but the my map function. So I'm writing map function. Guys, please listen carefully. So here, when I say multiple iterator, that means I'm gonna pass 2 or 3 maybe. So let me write my basically a list. Let me write, and one is nothing but here I'm gonna write 4, 5, and 6. Let's say. And now my list is nothing but the 9, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here I'm gonna write like this. Now, what I want everything to be in my one of the output. We can say like to be in list multiple. Let's say so multiple iterator. I must write multiple, and then some sort of result. You can say. Now here, how my map should work? I'm gonna write map, and then inside that I'm gonna write lambda. And what I'm supposed to, what I wanted to do, I wanted to pass multiple iterators. So let me write here for basically instead of this, let me write here for num1 as well as num2. Let me just write two variables name, and then here I am gonna colon, I'm gonna use colon, and then here what I will do, here I'm gonna write, let me write here, I want to make the sum of these two, let's say. So my expression has to be what? My expression is nothing but n1 plus n2. Simple. Now I got this expression. Now my another argument has to be specified like this. My another argument is nothing but I wanted to pass that list n1, and then I will write n2 like this. Guys, are you listening to me or not? Okay, if you are listening to me, just want to get a list, so I'm just gonna specify here list here. That's it. Yeah, yeah. I have escaped lambda la. Sorry, my bad insert. Okay, so la. Fine. This one is pretty much fine. I guess I have closed everything or not. If nothing, nowhere, then please tell me if I have done some mistake. Do let me know. Otherwise, we are pretty much fine. Okay. I have, okay, sorry, my bad. I have not written map here. I wanted to write map. And then on the top of that, I need to use list because on the map function only, I wanted to retrieve that. Yeah. It's a perfectly fine. Now just wanted to print what? That's my result. Like this. Okay. Now, what should be the output you guys will be expecting? 437, 527, 617. So you can see like how exactly calculation in my mind. So for one example, I have just thinking something on, oh wow, I'm getting something like this. Why? Anyone? Anyone has any guesses? Anyone, any guesses? Why I am getting output like this? No one? No one tried to, defend me. Why so? Okay, somebody has pinged me. Why we are getting like this? N1, N2 at last written. Okay, I have written that. Okay, you are perfectly fine. Because here I need to write num1 and here num2. Guys, that is why I always say, please, always look into the, where exactly someone missed something. You can see here, this is what I ultimately, my agenda is to get this. Okay, guys, you can see here I have passed multiple iterator to my map function. Okay, and using lambda, nothing else. Guys, are you getting my point? So if yes, then please let me know. If you have still further any doubt, so all of a sudden in my mind that particular thing comes in my mind. And here let me just, I actually wanted to give versus example, but I thought like let me write this kind of thing in front of you all. Okay, but anyway, now this is pretty much fine. So I'm gonna write here something like this. This is another example which I have covered for you all. Okay, basically now, so just bold it down. Now anyone, any doubt, any confusion, please do let me know. Okay, if yes, then please right now you can raise your concern. Okay, if no, then please do let me know so that we can wrap up our class for today and we can start yesterday. Sorry, we can further move on to the next day. Okay, guys, I got some ping from anyone? I no doubt. Okay, so far. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for listening to me. And with this, we can close our session. I guess you can make some practice on this same topic because it's an important topic. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for that, for listening to me.